Hey guys, welcome to Peter's Kitchen. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make pad thai, and as you can see here, we've got quite an array of ingredients out here. I'm going to go ahead and start off over here, and I'm just going to work my way in an arc. We've got sugar, we've got white vinegar, and we've got soy sauce. We've got tofu here, and you can substitute it for quite a few things. You can substitute it in chicken, pork, beef, shrimp, whatever you really want. We're just using tofu for this to make it a vegetarian option. We've got our rice noodles here. We've got more sugar and salt, and you'll see why there's two separate things with sugar in a little bit. We've got peanuts, radishes, chives, and some paprika. And over here, lastly, we've got olive oil, some minced garlic, and 4 eggs. So, we're going to start off over here with our pad thai sauce, and for that, all you need is your sugar, your vinegar, and your soy sauce. We're going to move back here to the stove to go ahead and throw that on. You're going to set your pot on medium heat, and you're going to throw in your vinegar, your soy sauce, and lastly, your sugar. And you're going to want to go ahead and just see that, and just go ahead and kind of get it a little bit mixed in there, and the heat will actually do the job of mixing it together pretty well. So next what we're going to work on is we're going to be working on the actual pad thai itself, which requires the eggs, the garlic, the olive oil. So we're going to take the eggs out of the bowl here because we're going to dump them in once we crack them and mix them up. For this it's pretty simple. You're going to make it just like you would scrambled eggs. So crack the egg, dump it in the bowl. Crack the egg, dump it in the bowl. And as you're doing this, just try and listen for your sauce over there. If you hear it starting to bubble up a little bit, you probably have it a little bit high, and you're going to want to turn it down because you don't want it going too hot. You just want it at a low simmer. And nobody is perfect, and I've got some eggshell in there. And you can go ahead and just pick those on out. Just like that. Maybe. There we go. So we're going to take our eggs, our garlic, and our olive oil over here. And we're going to mix up our eggs a little bit. Get the yolks mixed in with the egg whites. And we're going to throw this before that on medium heat as well. And just go ahead and mix up the eggs and the egg yolks. And this part's pretty simple. I'm sure just about everybody's either done this or seen it been done by someone. And like I said earlier, because of the tofu, it's a vegetarian option, but if you wanted to make it a vegan option, you can go ahead and remove the eggs and substitute it for something else. We're going to put in our oil, and we're going to put in our garlic, and we're going to go ahead and let that heat up a little bit here. And while that's heating up, we're going to go ahead and just keep mixing our egg here. It shouldn't take too long. Come back over here, check our sauce. It's just kind of a back and forth thing with pad thai. You just want to keep moving really with this one to try and keep everything going because it's got a lot going on all at once. Move around the olive oil and garlic in the pan. And we're just going to go ahead and we're going to wait until everything heats up a little bit, and we'll be right back when it does. Alright, so our olive oil has started to heat up here, and our garlic is too, and I don't know if you can hear it, but it is sizzling. So we're going to throw in our eggs, and just like good fast scrambled eggs, it's just involves a lot of mixing. And the reason there's a lot of olive oil in there is because it's got to be enough for the tofu, it's got to be enough for the noodles as well. So this will take a little while, and it's already starting to fry up in a couple of spots. So we'll let that sit and scramble up. We're going to come over here to our sauce, which, like that, I don't know if you can hear it, but it's starting to simmer very slightly. Starting to smell good too. Someday they'll invent a way for you to be able to smell things over the internet. Well, hopefully not. For some things at least. But that you want to. So our eggs are starting to scramble up here, and they're just going to slowly work in with the garlic and mix it together. Still recording?
I have been, yeah.
Oh,
Okay, what if this is your break? Say what you've just done, like how you just kept going back and forth. Because there was a couple times when I messed it up. So.
give me the countdown.
3, 2, 1.
Alright, so I've gone ahead here and I've kind of turned down the sauce a little bit so I can just keep it a low heat. And my eggs are looking pretty good here. They've all cooked up. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add in my tofu. So, just want to take it. And just so you know, for tofu, they've got a lot of ways to prepare it. But the one key essential thing in all of it is to, if you get tofu that comes prepackaged, you're going to want to let it drain, and you can do that pretty easily by taking a towel and 2 plates and just letting it press between the paper towels and the plates to get all the, well, as much as you can of the water out of there. It just makes it easier to cook, and when you're cutting it up, it just keeps water from going everywhere. So for the tofu, you just want to cook it until it gets a light golden brownish looking color to the edge of it, and it'll start to flake up just a little tiny bit. So we gotta let that cook for a little while. I'll come over here, and it's just going to be kind of a back and forth thing again. Just keep this mixed up. Carefully don't burn yourself. I think I've said that before, but I never fail to not burn myself. Or burn myself. I can't speak tonight. All I can do is cook. So we're just going to keep letting this go together and mix up. And tofu is pretty unique in the fact that it'll absorb the flavors of the things you mix in with it. So as I add in all the ingredients that I've shown you, and it's cooking with them, it'll just slowly start to pick up their flavors. And tofu is a really kind of fun thing to work with because you can use it for a lot of things and cook it into a lot of the dishes. Just let that keep cooking, and it'll take a little while, but once that's done, you're going to go ahead and you're going to add in your noodles. Alright, so we've gotten this to simmer down a little bit here and cook everything together, and our tofu's kind of gotten a little bit of golden brown color to it. So we're going to add our rice noodles here. Just go ahead and throw those in over top. And we're just going to let this, we've got to mix this all together. Try not to spill any of it because it is delicious. And if you spill it, you will be disappointed. Trying to let everything mix in here a little bit. And just try and get the oil from the bottom into the noodles. And the eggs and the tofu, or whatever you chose to substitute if you did, into the noodles. And that'll just have to sit for a minute to let the noodles heat up. And you're going to come back over to your sauce here, and you're going to go ahead and turn that back up to medium, and let it get back up here to a point where it's at a little bit of a higher temperature. And this shouldn't take too long, maybe a couple of minutes, and we'll be right back when that's done. Alright, so we've gotten everything mixed together, and our sauce here has come to a little bit of a simmer. We're just going to go ahead and just pour that right over the top. Doesn't that sound good? And we're going to come back over here. And you're just going to go ahead and let all this mix in and let the noodles pick up the color from the sauce. And, well, I guess they're absorbing the sauce itself, not just the color. And you just keep mixing everything in. And again, try not to spill anything because it is delicious. Keep folding and mixing in. Alright, so we've gotten it all mixed in there together, and we're just going to let this sit for a second or two. And while we're letting it sit, we're going to come get our sugar and our salt, which are over here on the counter. And we're just going to dump this over top. And this over top. And then we're going to mix that in as well. Just make sure it coats over everything and everything gets pretty well mixed in. All the sauce, the noodles, the egg, the tofu. Slowly mix it in together. Keep going, just keep slowly mixing it in. Because you want to try and get that salt and sugar spread out throughout the whole of the dish. So you don't get a bite that's extra salty and then the next bite it'll be extra sweet. It'll kind of taste off if it's overpowered by any one flavor. Alright, so that's mixed together pretty well there. And we're going to go ahead and shut that off. We're going to go ahead and shut that off. And we're going to go ahead and I'm going to grab a bowl. And we're just going to throw our pad thai in. I'm not going to grab a spatula. I guess I have a spoon. Just dump it all in. And there you go. There. And now we're just going to keep working on mixing it in. As you can see, the noodles, the eggs, and the tofu have blended, and now they're ready for all the garnishes and toppings. First, you're going to add your crushed peanuts, and we used Spanish red peanuts, and those are the ones that I usually use for dishes like this, and I've seen people use for curries and things that require any sort of peanut. That's kind of a Asian dish, and that's just what I automatically went for when I was getting the ingredients. So you can substitute that in for if you want a different kind of peanut or a flavored peanut. And go ahead and put this in, fold it over. Throw those back in because you don't want to waste any. And then next we have a little bit of radish here. You throw just a little bit of that on top. It only takes a little tiny bit to give it a little bit of a flavor. And I cut up a whole one here, and you don't need that much. You need about a half, but I can use that for something else. Then you're going to go ahead and keep mixing that in all together. You can throw in a little more radish if you had a whole one like I did. And then, as you can see, everything's all mixed in just about. We've got our tofu, our peanuts, our eggs, our radish, our rice noodles, the sauce. It's all mixed in there, ready to go. But now we're going to go ahead and add our little bit of chives or our little bit of paprika here. And you just sprinkle that over the top. Paprika doesn't have a strong flavor of any kind really. It's more for color than anything. So just mix it in a little bit here. Gives you an interesting look to the dish, because it gives it that deep red color because the noodles pick it up and the tofu picks it up, the eggs pick it up, and it just gives it a different look. And just keep pushing the stuff at the edge back in. You don't want to lose anything. And then you can take your chives and sprinkle those over top. And there you go. You have yourself a pad thai with peanuts, tofu, and eggs. And it's absolutely delicious for anybody who wants it. Like I said, you can substitute the eggs for something if you want to make it vegan. You can put in tofu if you want to make it vegetarian, and if you don't like vegetarians and vegans, put in all meat if you want, just pork, chicken, everything. But that's about it, so I'll see you guys next week, and I hope you guys have fun with this dish. Please subscribe to the channel if you want to watch more stuff, more of Peter's Kitchen, and also the exercise videos and the boxing fitness that Evan does over on, well, it's on the same channel, over on his playlist. And if you have any suggestions or comments, go ahead and add those into the subscription, or into the box down below, or you can email it to us. Our email is down in the description. I'll see you guys next week. Have fun.